Hi guys, welcome to another installment of Awkward eBay Tutor. Today I'm going to show you how to use Enterprise Manager for Awkward 11G. So basically, I created a new database, and basically I haven't configured it yet. I'm going to do a configuration to Enterprise Manager so I can show you what you're able to do with this console. So basically, in terms of how you get here, you just have to basically after the installation, you're gonna receive this URL. So once you type that into your into one of your browsers, then it's gonna take you to this page. So again, basically this is just this is when you get to this page, what you have to do is you have to use the credentials that you assign to a user in your actual database. So for me, my user is going to be sys, my password, and then I'm going to log in as a sysdbn. So sysdbn login. So basically, I'm in. Basically, when you log in on 11G, you're going to have 7 tabs: home, performance, availability, server, schema, data movement, software, and support. So basically, at the home page, basically what you're able to look at is basically your the database state that is in the listener state. The just the let me see if I can just highlight some things that are important on this page. The different alerts that have been captured by Oracle, and also let me see if I can expand this one. So this is fine. And again, so in terms of alerts, it's gonna previously what I had it was basically actually you know what, never mind. So it basically just review the alerts and see if basically they're gonna cause an issue in terms of your database performance. So basically in the home tab, this is pretty straightforward. You have database size, how much temporary you have. So what you can actually do is you can go into database size and look at the different objects. Again, for me here, I have the different data files, and you can look at how much space they're using up, and also what the configuration is for these table spaces. So I mean for these data files. So basically, let me go back, and if you wanted to create a new object, then you just click on create. And again, I'm gonna get into this probably later on. But let's see. I'm just gonna go back to my original page for right now. And again, so this is just where you have your table spaces, not data file with the table spaces. And as you can see, I have plenty of table spaces. And these are pretty much for my other some other things that I have set up inside of Oracle. So let me go this page, and to go back to the main page, you just have to come up here, come up here and click on database. It's going to take you back to the main page. So basically, again, you have your listener here. If you want to look at the properties, pretty much again you'll be able to this is the Oracle home, this is local host, database vault. I chose not to install that. Let me go back, and here you can actually shut down your database, or basically you can also create what's known as a blackout. This is basically a window, a period of time, sort of again a window where basically you can perform jobs perform some maintenance tasks on your database. So basically, you would create a blackout. So if I was to click on here, then I would basically just, again, if I wanted to, let's say again, just run jobs during the blackout, look up the database instance, and let's see, blackout, okay, available types, okay, and again, in terms of target, in terms of basically what you can black out, pretty much you can black out, host, the listener, and the repositories. And let me do this. And if you guys pay attention, this is what my database is. So if you were to have multiple database instances, right? Basically, this would just be a menu of those instances. Basically, what you would do is you would basically just move them, back and forth. So, add it or remove them based on which target you want to which instance you want to select as your target instance. So let me go back to the main page again. So actually, you know what? For the blackout, let me see if I can actually perform. So, okay, blackout reason. Let's see. You have a lot of reasons. You have, again, might have things to do with the has to perform with the application, basic database tasks, refreshes and upgrades, enterprise manager, hardware issue, reasons dealing, concerning your hardware, your OS, your service. So let me just do this. Let's say it's not really important, but other. Yeah, let's just do that for now. Let me click next. So pretty much when I get to this page, I can actually specify, okay, do I want this blackout to start immediately, or should I schedule it? So if I was to schedule it, again, you can adjust the time zone here up here. So okay, today Saturday's 2:26. Okay, so let's see if I can, again, 2:26. Okay, 2:45. And also the duration, I can make this an indefinite blackout for, again, depending on what you like to perform. But typically what happens is that you would just basically just specify a duration of couple of hours, maybe just a little bit more on top of that for your jobs. And then you can also hear the once you selected the window, the start and how long you like the blackout to last for. You can actually select if you like for this to be performed, by every minute or every hour, on a weekly, by a number of weeks, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis, or also on a yearly basis. So typically, what happens is that you would have an environment, basically that has a blackout window for basically maybe on a weekly basis, where certain jobs are performed over the weekend, during off hours. Again, that's going to be dictated by what type of agreement you have in the what type of wording you have in the SLA agreement. So let me do this. I'm going to, okay, for now, okay, 2:45, that's fine. Length is going to be 1 hour. Okay, and repeat. Let's try a weekly basis, and I have to select the day. So this is today's Saturday, so I'm gonna try Saturday, and then and if I also wanted to basically have an end date, I can also specify an end date. So I am not going to do that, however, so I'm gonna put no end date. And let me see what get to the next page. Okay. So here you can actually put a comment as far as to exactly what the task is. And pretty much after you do this, then what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to just click on finish and submit your blackout, and basically you have yourself a blackout. So let me do this. I'm going to cancel this because I do not want to create blackout. So okay, so if you look at this, I'm trying to see what's really important on here. So you can review the number of sessions you have on the system, and you can also review how much what events are on your system. So if you look at what the message says, is basically response time, and basically in terms of the bottleneck. So let's go into wait. So here you can review your CPU, you can review your throughput, IO, parallel, operations, and basically, so if I was to look at what's going on in my database, it's a new database that just created. So instance foreground, okay. Do you have a pyramid here? That's just a spike in activity level. So before that there was nothing. Again, I just created a database. So non-database host CPU. So basically, again, this is reviewing my desktop. The activity going on my desktop level. So that's why you see this as consistent. So let me do this. Okay, how many sessions do I have that are active? Again, I only have 2 CPUs on here, so I'm just reviewing. Okay, so this is creation time, so that's why you have a spike here in CPU. Throughput, again, very straightforward. IO, same thing, pretty much. A request, megabytes per second. So basically, if you were to have a lot of activities inside of your database, what you will be reviewing is, okay, what is how much activities is the database writer performing, for example, or the log writer, or the archiver, or the recovery, or or some of the basically the data, the operations that are definitely taking place inside of the database. So you can just review what the trends are for those activities. I request, again, this is just a user session. Just attempt to gain access to some raw data in an object. Here you can actually review your top activity. So if I was to click on this, actually, let me open this in a new tab. So top activity, looking at again. So what's called? Let's say I was having a performance drag. So basically, I will be able to say, okay, performance wise, okay, these are the cores that are taking that are taking a really long time to be performed, to be executed. And so basically what I can do is I can basically just go into great detail as far as to how to solve those how to reduce the number of the resource consumption for these queries. So again, here my top query is a select statement. Again, you can have pretty much it's gonna show you the different operations that are causing the eating up the resources. So it's not always gonna be select statements. It might always also be pure SQL statements or other operations that take place inside the database. So let's try this out. Okay, if I was to click on this query, okay, okay, so now I switch and the PL SQL execute is actually it's actually taking up the most amount of resources now. So what I can do is I can actually rely on the SQL Tuning Advisor for my query. So if I click on let me go back. See before you that. Okay. If I on this page, I have to click on on the select segment. That's again, that's the cause of the performance drag. Click on that. Select SQL schedule SQL Tuning Advisor. Let's see where that takes us. Okay, and switching. SQL statement. Okay, keyword 1, 2, 3. So yeah, this is just basically how. And what SQL Tuning Advisor is basically it's gonna give you it's gonna rewrite. It's gonna show you an example of what a rewrite of your SQL statement would look like, and basically it's just meant to improve the performance of that SQL statement. So let me go back. Actually, rather, what I'll do is type activity. I'm gonna close it out now. Come back to this page and review the top consumers. And basically, in terms of top consumers, you would be reviewing. Let's see, I need to. Okay. So pretty much, I'm looking at my database. I'm looking at my background processes here. I'm looking at the number of the users here. So basically, these are just some of the details that you can review on in terms of your consume the resources that are being taken up by the consumers on your system. And as you can see, I have here at the top a setting that lets me that basically refreshes the page as at a certain length of time. So I have it here I have it set up here for 15 seconds. What I'll do is again, so it seems it's really annoying, with the refresher. So what I can actually do is I can extend that to maybe, let's say, manual refresh, and the page the settings are not going to be refreshed anymore. I will have to do it manually by clicking the refresh button. So let me just take it back to what it was and then close it out. Okay, let's see. So a lot of these settings, pretty much, you basically you will not have to encounter a whole lot. So if I was to go into duplicate SQL, again, so this is one of those things. This is one of those settings that you definitely will not you probably will not even look at it a whole lot. So so this was the vision can cause database concerns. Okay, so let's try to log into one of these statements. Okay, execution, total 1, okay, elapsed time, CPU. So pretty much here what you're doing is you reviewing statements that basically that are being submitted at a very high frequency from different classes of applications. So basically you can actually look at how much what the impact is for these again duplicate statements that are being submitted. So basically again you review this, let's see SQL worksheet. Okay, and as you just saw, SQL worksheet is gonna bring up the window for me to write a SQL statement. So let me do this. I'm not gonna rewrite it. You're gonna verification or commit. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything for now. I'm just gonna again just to show you what you can do with duplicate SQL, and also how you can submit SQL statements. So let me close this out. And also here you can review the sessions, the different sessions that are basically causing that are part of a contention problem. So basically you would have with the session ID, the user who's experiencing that wait. It's actually called a wait event. So and basically it's also gonna show you how long this user's been waiting for that raw data to be for the block on that raw data to be released. So let me close this out. So in terms of the first tab, not first tab, but the performance tab. Let me do this. Yeah. In terms of the performance tab, basically you can kind of get a sense of, okay, what are the important things in terms of the Oracle database, right? Performance, the different components, the CPU, how much I/O, how much throughput, and basically you can just review some of the the activities that are going on that are taking place inside the database. So basically, typically you're gonna have the most common question that you be asked with the DBA is, okay, there's a drag performance, and what's causing that performance? So by looking into top activity, you're gonna be able to figure out what query is causing the database to not perform optimally. So what I'll do for now is I'm going to let me see if I can get something in here for parallel processes. So again, parallel processes is just when you specify when you have a degree of parallelism for an operation. So this is probably not going to be relevant here, but basically you'll be able to review if you have multiple, if you have set up degree of parallelism, depending on what operation you want to perform, and how quickly you want to perform it. Basically, this is where you review that degree of parallelism. And again, it's if you wanted to review your services, again, this is my This is the database, but also the database is also a service. So basically, again, these are just the different tabs that you can review. And throughput, this is one thing. This is one thing that I really should have focused on a whole lot. Is basically throughput is how much hit actually taking place inside the database. In terms of the read of the database block. So if you have fast reads, then basically again you're gonna have excellent performance. But if you have reads that are not fast, but also again you have a lot of contention on your database object, then basically this is gonna it's gonna show you there's gonna be a spike in your physical reads. Oh, right, let me make sure I have this right. Physical reads. So yeah, I'm not gonna say anything towards this, but basically here you'll be able to review your physical reads inside of Oracle. Let's try performance analyzer. Okay. 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 So here you can test out. Basically, if you were to have a different configuration, let's say, 10G to 11G, or if you were even considering doing a extended upgrade, it's gonna just tell you what type of influence that's gonna have on your SQL statements. And let me do this. Rather central. Okay. Okay. I really wanna get this right. Okay, so these are physical reads. So if you have a spike in okay, so okay, okay. So in terms of this the graph, so this is per second, right? So physical reads would be more than basically if you have if the line is just it's flat, then basically that means that the read operations are going optimal for your database. But if you have a spike in physical reads, then basically the spike is actually referring to the timing. So the timing is per second. So basically it's just okay. You have pretty much the reading that's supposed to take let's say 15 seconds is taking all the way up to 120 seconds. That's why you have that increase, that spike in the shape of the graph. So let me do this. Okay. Next tab I'm going to cover is the availability tab. So basically in availability, you're able to basically set up the configuration for your backups. Set up configure RMAN, and again, just as you can see, basically you can set your backup. You can look at the review different restore points, and also manage transaction. So what the first thing I do is I'm actually going to go into backup settings. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. Cancel. Okay. So this is not okay. Overall, 98.76. Man, that's a really good percentage. But again, the goal is 99.9, so that's not good enough. Let me do this. Refresh this manually. 60 seconds. So let me close this out for now, and then I'm gonna go into backup settings. I just want you to look at the availability console and see if there's anything I can highlight from that page. So here you're able to set up, configure your settings, your backup, your back, so, like set up your backup operations. So you can actually set up a backup. Basically you can configure your location, depending on what you want to back up. What a backup location is going to be. So if this is for if you will use a file system to store your backup, then you would just say, okay, if I have D drive and I want to store in my D drive, I would just type in, I would type that in here. Okay, so obviously that's not how you do it, because you have to, again, once you put this in, you have to basically assign the right credentials for your for the OS level. So let me do this. Delete this. You can select the degree of parallelism for this operation. You can have a regular backup set. You can have a compressed backup set. You can also have an image copy. So these two, backups and image copy, pretty much take up just about the same amount of memory space. And compressed would be basically if you wanted to save, if you wanted to not use a lot of your memory space. You can also perform tape backup to tape for your database data. And also you can, and again, just save. So again, as it tells you, right, you have to basically just use the operating system login. So if I really want to do a backup, I will put my login credentials from the OS level. So again, if you want to go into the OS, go to I think it's system. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, pretty much we go here. Again, go to user account, and then you'll be able to look at your user account. Then review your credentials and make sure that you have them right for you. Before you type them in, those credentials in. And here you can review your backup sets. Pretty much. You can assign device here. Okay. So here you create a backup set. You can create a location. Here you can actually do the. It seems like, because again, I'm not familiar with having to store any of this information. So here it seems like you can actually save it here, save your backup. So save backup setting. Okay, so apparently it seems like your backup settings. So here your backup set. This would be basically. So here you perform the actual backup. But here you're doing the backup set configuration, so you are assigning the size for your different for your backup file. You know, if you wanted to, compress it, you would have to basically do the configuration here. So number of copies of the backups that you want to create. Again, same thing with the OS credential. And here you can actually also, again, this is just more backup configuration. So here we probably do you want to backup control file, so command file, yes. So this is really important. So what you can do here, you can actually optimize the backup by just capturing files. Yes, so you can skip over files that haven't changed from backup one to, let's say, if you would have backup one, backup two, so you would capture files that haven't changed, backup two, from backup one to capture two. So basically, if you have backup one, backup two, you're gonna capture in backup two. You're gonna capture the files that have not changed from backup one. So basically, it's gonna skip over those files and that have changed actually from backup one. So basically, you want to skip over the files that haven't changed from backup one to backup two. So basically, again, what you're doing here, basically, you're just configuring your backup set. So let me do this. I'm gonna close this out. So next thing is, so once you configure your backup, now you're gonna go into recovery settings. So with recovery settings, basically what you're doing is, again, you're gonna configure the location for your recovery. So basically, as I've just told you, this is a new database, and I haven't done any configuration to it. So my database is still not in archive log mode. So what I'll do is I'm gonna place my database in archive log mode, and okay, and then what I'll also do is, again, I can change this location to from UZV recovery file destination to let's say if I wanted to put in my D drive again. Let's do this. Let me make sure. Okay, so let's say if I want to go into into my D drive, and I want to have my archive logs. Let's say maybe in flash recovery area. Actually, no. Let's try diag. Where can I put my archive log location? So if I wanted to, let's say, put it in flash recovery area, and if I want to say create archive logs, so let's call this okay. Copy this and then paste it here. Okay. And also, what minimal supplemental logging is, this actually helps with if you were to perform a streams on your basically just doing some capturing of raw data from one Oracle database to another Oracle database, and actually not just raw data, but also like you can capture again, objects, schema, pretty much anything that's inside of the database. You should be able to capture that with by performing stream. I'm also going to enable flashback database. Okay. And then apply CSV file only. Okay, that's right. Got it. You want to restart the database now? Okay, I'm gonna let you for. I want to restart my database. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me not do that. Yes. So basically, this is how you go about um, enabling this archive log for your database. So let me do this. Okay. I really would like to do this, but let's see if I can apply it. And I need to. Okay, committed my changes, applied my changes to the SP file. So basically, that means that I would have to restart my database for these changes to take place. So let me do this. Let me go to home. Let me shut down my database. Oof. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let's try that again. Okay, let's try this out. So I'm gonna log into my Oracle_SID is equal to v11g2p1. No, v11h1. I'm gonna log into my database. I'm gonna issue startup false. I had to do it manually. Apparently it's not accepting my OS credentials, so okay. So my database is open. Let me do this. I'm gonna close this out. Go into my file system. Okay, actually not do that because it's not be written to yet. Let me go to storage out. Okay, so this is DBA login. So what I'll do now is let me go to, I think I was in performance. Or actually, let me look at availability. I think it might have been availability. So if I go to backup, oh, recovery settings. Apparently that was not applied. So let me do this. I am going to do it manually. Recovery settings. So if I was to issue what if I feel as much that is like be mounting, so let me just shut down immediate. Oh. So basically I just have to get my database in mount mode. So startup mount. Okay. Database is mounted. Let me issue alter database archive log. Okay, database has been enable archive log mode. Database open. Okay, my database should be open. Let me refresh the page. It's gonna be CCBA, log in. Okay, so now my database is in archive log mode. So if I was to do perform 27 archive log log list, then basically it's going to show me the archive log status enabled. Location obviously is what I have on here. And okay, for now let me minimize this. I guess what I could also do is to enable the flashback database. Ooh. Again, so I really wish I was able to just use my OS credentials, but I cannot. I'm gonna have some information on how to use your OS credentials to perform these activities. So that's going to be, again, if you look into the discussion section of my YouTube channel, that's where I'm going to place those details. But anyways, let me move on. Again, to go back to the home page, basically click on database. Okay. One of the things that I should have actually talked about before going back to home page is basically this is a parameter for how long the recovery for your database should take, like how the period of time for the recovery of your database, from the time that you have the system failure to the time that it's brought back up and it's running. So you can specify, and this is in seconds. On minutes. You can basically just usually it's the again, obviously, if you put a low value, then that's gonna be result in a faster restart, a faster recovery from a failure. But then again, if you put a low value and you have a massive database, then there's going to be some major problems with this setting. So just make sure you can be able to get the timing, the value right in terms of how long it should take, depending on what your database size is. So okay, recovery catalog. So what I can do now is let me do this. So I do not have recovery catalog set up. I just enable archive log for my database, right? So I have two choices in terms of a recovery manager. So recovery manager can either rely on recovery catalog, or Alman can rely on the control file. And basically you can specify a number of days, how long you like for that information to be kept. So control file, you can only keep it for a certain period of time. Recovery catalog, you can keep it indefinitely. So let me use recovery catalog, and I'm just gonna be very straightforward here. I'm gonna call the user Alman, and test is gonna be Alman and host user. This is what I'm getting stuck, because I don't have the right username set up at the OS level for me to be able to access my system to make these changes. Um, okay. That's one. I'm gonna skip this for now. And then again. I will post. If I get a chance, I'll see if I can post a video on what some of the specific on the OS level credentials in terms of doing your configurations inside of Enterprise Manager. So let me go back to okay, and here you're able to schedule backup from recoveries, like backup reports. You get to use these in time. So okay, the next tab is the server tab. And here you can actually review your control file, look at the locations. So let me go into control files. Again, just looking for my control files. Both in the D drive, which is not recommended. You can back up the control file to trace. Let me see if I can do it plans. Control file to backup. Let's try this. Let's enable that. So basically, this should ensure that you're able to basically just restore your control file if there's a corruption inside the database. So what I will do for now is setting. Again, it goes back to setting up your policy. Let me do this. Control files. Okay. I will go back to. Okay, so you can review your table spaces, how much space is currently being used, what the settings. I think I've already covered this earlier. So there are two ways to access your table spaces, obviously. So to the server tab or to the home tab. If I'm calling it right. Review archive logs. So currently there are no archive logs because there's been no activity to record yet inside the database. So so you can manage optimized statistics, gather optimized statistics. That's enabled scope database. So we got it. Okay. So this is actually a very important this is a very important feature of Enterprise Manager. So basically, how you have the reason why you have performance drags and overflow is because it all relates back to the optimizer. So the optimizer is responsible for doing the for querying the raw data for servicing your requests basically. So you can manage your statistics, and by managing your statistics, you can make your optimizer work. Having a workload that doesn't require it to use a lot of resources. So if you have the best statistics available for the optimizer, then basically you're gonna have a very high performance. If you have the worst statistics together for the optimizer, then obviously you're gonna have a very bad performance. So okay, go plan. Okay. So pretty much, if I was to, let's say, if I was to issue a query inside of my database, so select stuff underscore objects. So apparently I was wrong on that. Let me cancel that. Got this. So basically here, this is what basically again you would set up a. So if you are able to basically figure out what the optimal SQL expand plan is for your for one of your SQL statements. Then basically this is where you would basically just save that expand plan operation. So let me see if I can actually submit SQL statement here. So but if okay, I'm not gonna worry about this for now. So basically, this is where basically you configure your best explain plan for your SQL statement inside the database. And you go back to okay. So here you have your memory addresses. Again, you can really look at how much SGA is being used, how much PGA is being used. Again, so when you say okay, what's going on in the PGA? Of course, you're referring to okay, large pool, a lot of different pools. So let's see what I can. So apparently, not apparently, but basically, this is a typical implementation of what's going on inside the database. You have, of course, you're gonna have a high percentage on the buffer guys, and also of course, you're gonna have a high percentage in your shared pool. The reason why is this is being hit. This is what the reads are taking place, and also basically, and this is also where the reads are taking place. But basically, you just have different components that are part of it. So here you have the share pool is where you have library cache for statements that have been stored in memory to be reused. So again, of course, these two are gonna be at the are gonna have the highest percentages. And typically you have the Java pool. Again, this is if you wanted to have more of a if you have a Java code and you wanted to basically maybe import it to the database. This is basically what this will reflect how much of that activity is going on inside the database, but with importing of Java code. So yeah, this is my size. This is the size that I have for my automatic memory management. The parameter that you use for so the parameter to configure, again, the database is already is in automatic memory management. The parameter for automatic memory management is memory underscore target. So basically, by setting this one parameter, then you're setting the how much memory is going to be, how much memory in megabytes going to be in how much memory you like to allocate to both the SG and the PJ, and basically Oracle is going to do the management in terms of allocating more memory space to one or the other. So you can review. You can also do some review in terms of okay, what's going on in terms of the activity was inside of the database, which one should be allocated more. Either the so basically you would advise to see if this is an optimal value, or basically, and also what you can also do is you can just basically go with automatic shared memory management configuration where basically you be responsible for the PGA and then SGA will be is automatically set. So I highly recommend just keeping your database in archive in with AMM enabled. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change my my memory size for my memory for my automatic memory management. So let's apply this. Let me go to my that is working. Show parameter memory. Okay. Underscore max underscore target is equal to scope is equal to SP file and memory target 2000 scope SP file. Okay, so basically that means that after my next restart, this is when these values are going to be changed. And obviously, as you just saw, basically memory target parameter basically cannot be greater than the memory max target. So you basically just adjust them accordingly. So let me do this. Go back. Automatic undo management. Oh, let me see what I can say here. Again, undo management. You would have again undo is basically associated with your undo table space. So basically, again, so what undo management is, if you look at what it says, is basically it's how long you like to keep your undo data stored inside the database. So undo would be let's say you have transactions that have taken place inside of Oracle, and pretty much, and basically what you want to do is you want to load those back. So that's what undo would come in. Undo guarantee. I would have to basically just again, I can't connect to the OS onto my OS account from here. So any of the changes that I'm making, I would have to do it from the command line. So this is again undo. What undo basically is, it ensures that you're able to basically roll back some statements and basically and bring your database to a consistent state. Um, okay, let me go back to this page. I'm not gonna, I'm definitely gonna skip over some of these links. Yeah, this is not something you learn in a day. Um, but definitely just, try to go up and just, navigate through these links and figure out, what you be using more as a DBA. So again, here I'm just gonna review my users. So pretty much again, user count, spawn, expire and log. A lot of these are spawn log. Basically the table space that's associated with these accounts. And let me go back. So basically, this is um, this is basically where you would, if you wanted to, let's say, if you wanted to restrict access to the database, you would go to, you'd be using these these three tab links. So basically, users, you be able to access who the users are on the database. Obviously, roles, you be able to access what the roles are. So if you got roles, you have different roles. You have DBA role, you have connect role, you have resource. You have a number of roles that are available in Oracle. But this is what you have to spend some time getting used to, is the profile, because you have to create a profile for your users and assign those different roles to that user, and then assign a profile to so basically just assign different roles to the profile, and then assign a profile to the user. So let's see, if I want to create a profile, then basically default, okay. Password. Profile password. Okay. Let me go back. You know what? Let me try this out. Profile. Let me try to. Was that a schema? I think that was in server. So profile is if I wanted to create default unlimited, connect unlimited, connect session unlimited. Okay, so never mind. Profile is just basically access right to the database. And roles would be, so basically what will happen is, if you have a profile, let's say you have profile is let's say store manager, you will look at the roles that you have here, and then basically once you figure out which role you want to assign, then you would use your, I guess you can do it too here. So create role authentication. The reason I want to have to go to creating. Okay, let's try this. Role 1, authentication none. Again, you have a long list of roles, so let's try connect, move, Okay. Existing privileges. Again, you can select existing privileges. Look at this. This. Update any table, create any table, author any table, advisor. Ministry triggers. Okay, let's try advisor. Click OK. Object privileges. Let's try to add object privilege. Author, move. Oh, rather, let me cancel this. So here you can actually, again, object wise, you would have to select. Okay, let me try table. Alter, move. Okay. So this is obviously where I'm not going to, if I'm gonna stop. So let me cancel this. Okay, so I can't even use this a show SQL statement yet. So let me see what I can do. That's an object privilege. Okay. Let me do this. My other account, some other accounts that have the objects I want to look at, that I could look at, are not available. So let me do this. Cancel. And let me go back to my home page. Again, that's just how you would configure, the roles, differences in privileges, object privileges, profiles, basically, how you can access. So let me do this. Let me go into schema. So this is another tab that I just, again, you can, if you were to be using let me see what I can say about ASM. So ASM is just an instance, and pretty much, so in terms of having in terms of using ASM, so it would just be another instance. You would have to basically have the disk group, configure the disk groups, and again, it's just a regular server instance that you'll be creating. And I'm trying to think of what else I could say about ASM. And again, as you can see, again, host credentials. That's not getting me in. I'm having a difficult time figuring out what's the right credential or make up for my commute login at the OS level. So I'm gonna cancel this for now. Let me cancel this also. But basically, this is just where you would be able to migrate the database to an ASM instance. So okay, optimizer. I've already gone over these. Okay, here you can actually configure who are going to be your enterprise manager users. So again, these are basically sysman systems. So basically, you would give these credentials to someone who you like to give that ability to which is to access your enterprise manager admin console. So let me go back. I believe I was at server. Okay, the next tab is schema. Okay, I think I've already covered schema. But basically, schema, you just reviewing your objects. Synonym, views, indexes, tables. Also, you can review your programs if you have, again, different packages. So let me look at packages real quick. Status all go. And these are different packages that I have inside of Oracle database. DVMS supply DM. This is basically, these are, again, I'm familiar with this one because this is part of streams and I've performed stream recently. So basically you just have to review what the different packages are, and let's see if I can look at my common procedures, package bodies. Actually, you know what, let me see if I can package body name. Okay, so not what I wanted to look at. Let's try procedures. So if I was to say if I want to create a procedure, then this is where I would do it. And procedure name, and then show it basically. Again, something you can also do is after you've written a statement, you can always use show SQL to see what a statement looks like. Either when you issued a statement, or when you've basically just start an operation, you can review the SQL statement that was performed by using the show SQL. You can review functions, triggers, text indexes, materialize views. Okay, tables. Again, you basically would click here to find out how to get the user. So again, I have myself a BI user. So if I wanted to use a BI and review the BI tables, then I'd be able to do that. So let me cancel it. Let me go back. Let me go to now data movement. Basically, this is where you're able to perform it, use data pump, SQL loader, and all those features available. You can move files around, and you can monitor those pump processes. Streams, basically, again, this is just capturing application, just capturing change data and applying those from one database environment to other database environment to source database environment to target database environment. Data replication. Let's see if I can set up. So basically, you have two options in terms of replicating. You can either use streams, or you can use a advanced replication. Again, as you just read, streams is the preferred method for data replication. So let me do this. Okay, if I want to clone a database, it's gonna basically just tell you, okay, for cloning your database, you have two options. You can basically clone using Recovery Manager, or you can clone again with other method using a staging area. You can also clone your a backup database, a backed up database. So the next tab is gonna be basically, let me see, you'll be able to review what are some things that stand out here. Review, patching. Let me go into Patch Advisor and see what it says. This time, okay. Let me go back. So basically, this is where you'll be able to basically review, perform some patching operations. Add patch. Basically patch number. Basically this is where you would just click select that and go to the patch application process. So select one software update to perform this operation. Okay. sure it is. Okay, so again, new installation, and I definitely do not have a, I'm not part of the OCN, Okama support network, my Oka support network, so, um, pretty much, let me go back, let me cancel this, let me go back to database, software. Okay, and the page that I was just on, that is for me, basically just, again, all these pages you're not supposed to understand what they're for. Even me, I'm still getting used to, what these are all about. So, but basically, you probably just rely a whole lot on home, figuring out what's going on activity wise. And also you would probably rely a whole lot on performance. But basically just reviewing, the different, the weight events, how much throughput you have, how many reads are taking place, and just how the different processes are, behaving or operating inside of the software. So pretty much this is just a rundown of what Oracle Enterprise Enterprise Manager 11G is all about. Just thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.